This week, my wife Carolyn and I will be celebrating 17 years of marriage, which means 17 years ago we were at a small church in Marion, Ohio, where we were exchanging our vows with each other. And it got me thinking about 6 months before that, we were at a park in St. Louis where I was down on one knee proposing to Carolyn. And that's not at all uncommon that a young man would be on one knee proposing. What seems to be much more rare today, tragically, is the couple that uses that, if you would, that image of being down on one knee and serving each other over a lifetime together. And that shouldn't be all that uncommon for those of us who know Christ and know of His self-sacrificing love for us. The Apostle Paul says in Phillipians chapter 2, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from His love, if any fellowship with the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and purpose. He says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility, right? Being down on one knee, in humility, consider others better than yourself. Each of you should look not to your own interests, but to the interests of others. Whether that's in a marriage or in a family, in a neighborhood, in a workplace, in a church even, our posture as those who follow Christ ought to be one of humility and service, being down on one knee and giving to those around us. Every relationship really gives us an opportunity to be like Christ, as Paul goes on to say, to have the same attitude, the same mind as Christ, who was God Himself, exalted on high, and yet became a servant, took on human flesh, and became obedient to death, even death on a cross. So we learn from the one who washed His disciples' feet, bent down to take up His cross, and ultimately humbled Himself to die for you and me. So in the same spirit, the same mind of Christ, let's change the way we relate to one another in a little uncommon way. Instead of looking to ourselves and our own interests, looking to the interests of those around us.